Hey, what's up? This is Mia, and today we are going to cover how to can dry beans. So, let's begin. Hey guys, how have you been? I hope you've been awesome. Thank you for those that have just joined. This is your first time seeing an updated video. Welcome to the family. Thank you for subscribing. Yeah, so I'm in my sacred space, aka my truck. I usually have another sacred space in the house, but you know, when you got teenagers and 2 dogs, you can't really find too many sacred spaces. And I figured that now, since I have some quiet time, I can, oh my gosh, there's a little doggy out there. That looked like she belonged to somebody. Okay, don't judge me. That was a squirrel moment. Sorry, that's where my attention span goes. There's a little stray dog. Looked like she was lost. I'm focused. Back to you. You have my undivided attention. Sidebar though. Quick question. Why when somebody sees something like a puppy, baby, something we see as innocent, why do our voices get so high? Oh my gosh, there's a little doggy out there. That looked like she belonged to somebody. With that being said, let's get back to the point at hand. I decided to can some dry beans that I purchased last month or two. And one of the things that I learned from doing that is that, or one of the reasons I started doing that, is because I realized that you can only have your beans in that bag that they come in for so long before they go bad, or you know, little insects form in them and stuff like that. So I wanted to find a more shelf stable method to keep them shelf stable. So this is a quick video on the steps that I've taken to can dry beans. And I have to say that so far, these bad boys are turning out pretty awesome. I mean, I've had them on my shelf now for about a couple of months, so this video is kind of old. And I'm pretty excited about it. So I'm gonna show you guys the process that I went through. As always, if you have any recommendations, please feel free to let me know. So let's get started on this video. All right, so first things first, we have to make sure that the jars are clean. Now, in previous videos, I used my water bath canner, but in this situation, what I'm going to do is pretty much wash these jars out with hot soapy water, because I'm going to put them in the oven to dry out. So while I have the oven set on 225 and it's preheating, I went ahead and washed every jar, and as I put them on the pan, I'm putting them on the pan upside down. In regards to the temperature, I chose 225 because that's just the right temperature for it to kill any bacteria in the beans or that's on the jars, and without cracking the jar itself. So you wanted the stove to be hot, but not so hot that it destroys the jar. Now after I cleaned the jars, I went ahead and stuck the jars in the oven for about 30 to 60 minutes to make sure they were nice and dry. After that, I took them out and allowed them to cool. Then it was time to add the black beans. Now, I had an assortment of beans, but I ran out of black beans, so I decided to use those instead. And I just also love black beans too. Similar to any other item that I'm canning, you want to make sure that you fill the can up and leave like an inch of space from the top. I believe the jars are quarts, so I had like 16 pound or 1 pound bags of beans. I end up using like a bag, a little bit over a bag and a half in each jar. I end up picking out like any of the broken seeds or stuff like that, but I made sure that I once again left an inch from the top. Now, while you're watching me can the rest of these beans, let me say that this is not a method that is approved by the National Food Preservation website. However, so in other words, you got to use it at your own risk. However, I will say that from my experience of canning dry beans, I have not had any issues. I know some people reported moisture in their cans and stuff like that. I have not seen that, but I also have taken extra precaution to make sure that everything is sealed, that the cans are dried, and there is no moisture whatsoever. After I finished canning my black beans, I realized that I had 2 cans too many. Like I said, I had about 4 1-pound bags of black beans, so it ended up taking only 4 jars worth, so that's a good thing. Next, I ended up putting it back into the oven, still on 225, but this time I let it sit for about an hour. After about an hour, I went ahead and started putting the lids in there. I didn't let them sit in there as long. I would say about a good 10-15 minutes, just to get the seal soft enough for the jar. Once they were ready, it was now time to take them out the oven using my canning clip. I don't really know what it's called, but it was time to take them out the oven, off the pan, and set them on my cooling rack and wipe each one of the rims with vinegar. And just like my previous canning projects, I went ahead and put the lids on them immediately and finger tightened the lid. The only difference is that since these are dry ingredients, I didn't have to put them in a canner or my water bath canner or my pressure canner. I just let them sit for 20 to 24 hours until the heat in the can actually sucked the lid down and sealed it. And for those inquiring minds, what you see on the left-hand side over there is something new we were trying. It was smoked apple chicken sausage. And it was actually pretty good. I know this is not a part of the video, but I just realized like I have my chicken sausage over there cooking, but it was delicious. And for good practice, make sure that you label and date all the cans. So there you have it. Simple and to the point. All right, fam, so that was it. I'm actually so proud of myself that, yeah, it got me canning other stuff, you know. I definitely like it. I haven't had any problems with it since I've tried it. Like the rice that I had, the rice that I stored in one of my previous videos, and I'll add a link if you haven't seen that already, that's doing well also. So I'm learning about storage, you guys, and I am like so stoked about it, because as I'm clearing out areas in my house and I'm learning more about canning and storage and food prep and all that good stuff, man, it's like a blessing from the gods. I'm so excited. So thank you for tuning in. If you have not already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell and join the family. I need you here with me along my journey. And yeah, for those that are already here, thank you guys. You guys are awesome. If you have any comments, please let me know in the section below. And yeah, I'm gonna sit out here for a few more minutes, continue to drink my little Arnold Palmer in my little Sonic cup, because I love Sonic Ice. And yeah, you guys have an awesome day and stay super-tastic.